So we're going to go over 3 different ways to solve this problem. So what we know is that on the test, we got 22.5 points correct. We also know that that was a 90% on the test, and we're trying to figure out how many points were possible, or what was the total number of points that were available on the test. So first we're going to use a double number line, then we'll set up a proportion, and then we'll go over the shortcut to find the whole amount. So starting with a double number line, I'm going to draw my number lines here. So the bottom will be the percent, and the top number line will be how many points we got on the test. So if we did not get any points, we know that would be a 0%. We also know that our 90%, I'll put that right here, 90% was 22.5 points. And what we're trying to find are the total points. So if we got every single point correct, that would be 100% on the test. So that's what we're looking for. So what I'm noticing right away is this 90% is a multiple of 10. So if I go, and then if I add 10 more, that's 100%. So if I figure out 10%, I can go up from there to get 100%. So let's add those in. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, they're a little squished, 80, 90, and then 100. So we need to figure out what 10% is. So I'm just filling in these lines right above each percent. So here's the points for 60, for 70, for 80. So what I know is that if I split 90% up into 9 pieces, if I divide it by 9, that's going to give me the 10% I'm looking for. So if I divide by 9, that's going to give me 10%. So I'm going to do the same thing with the number of points, 22.5 points. Let's split that up into 9 equal pieces. And if we do that on a calculator, we get 2.5 points. So every 10% is going to be 2.5 points. So then if we got a 20%, we would double that. So that would be 5 points. 30, we're going to add 2.5 more points, so that would be 7.5. A 40% would be 10 points, so we're just going up by 2.5 points. 12.5, 15, 17.5, 20, and then 2.5 more would be 22.5. So continuing that pattern, what would 100% be? How many points would that be? Now let's look at if we used a proportion instead of a double number line. So we've seen this before. We're going to do part divided by whole equals percent out of 100. And we are going to fill in the numbers that we know. So I have 2 numbers. I have 22.5 and I have 90. Right away I see this percent sign on 90. So that tells me that 90 is going to be the percent. So equals 90 out of 100. So then we need to figure out 22.5. Is that the part or is that the whole? Well, this is how many points we got right. It's not the total amount of points available on the test. It's just how many of those I got correct. So 22.5 is going to be, whoops, I think I did 2.25 there. 22.5 is going to be the part, and we are looking for the whole. That's what we're calculating. So now we have 2 steps to solving this. First, we're going to multiply diagonally. And then the second thing we're going to do is divide by the number that's left. So since we don't have the whole, we don't have a number here, this is not the diagonal we're going to use. We're going to use 22.5 and 100, and we're going to multiply those. Then we still have this 90 left, so we'll divide that answer by 90. And our last strategy that we can use, if you remember, the shortcut that we can use to solve this is to take the part and divide it by the percent. So our part is 22.5, but we're not just going to divide this by 90. That's not what we're going to do. Although 90 is our percent, the number 90% is not the same as the number 90. So 90% is not the same as the number 90. 90% really means 90 out of 100, because 100% of 100 it's the full amount. If you get a perfect on something, you get 100%. So if we actually divide this, 90 divided by 100, we're going to get 0.9. So 90% is not equal to 90, but 90% is equal to 0.9. So up here, I'm going to erase this 90. We're not going to do 22.5 divided by 90. We're going to do 22.5 divided by 0.9. And that will give you the total number of questions on the test. So whichever one of these three strategies you like best, use that to solve our problem.